It was a Friday night. I worked late that day. Then I got a call from my boss. He asked me to come to his office alone. When I went in, I saw him on the floor. He was crying and asking for help. He said I was the only person who could help him end his pain by having his child. My name is Velma. I am 24 years old. I work as a receptionist at Sebastian Technologies. My boss, Mr. Sebastian Technologies. My boss, Mr. Sebastian, is 34 years old, very successful and respected. Sebastian and I have known each other for a long time. We were neighbors when I was younger. When I needed a job, 3 years ago, Sebastian offered me this position. I was grateful. This job paid well. It helped me save money. I was planning my wedding to Caleb, my college sweetheart, the man I loved. We were getting married in 2 months. I worked overtime every week to save extra money for the wedding. Sebastian was always kind to me. He was married to a woman named Julia. Everyone knew Julia could not have children, but they seemed happy together. Then one week everything changed. Sebastian started coming to work with red eyes. He barely spoke to anyone. He locked himself in his office for hours. I was worried about him, but I did not ask questions. He was my boss. It was not my place. It was not my place. That Friday was supposed to be my day off, but I chose to work instead. I needed the overtime money. Everyone else left the office. I stayed late finishing paperwork. At 9 p.m., I was packing my bag to leave. Then my phone rang. It was Sebastian. He asked me to come to his office. He said it was important. My heart beat fast. I did not know what he wanted. I was alone in the building with him. That made me nervous. But he was my boss. I had to go. When I walked into his office, Sebastian was sitting on the floor. His eyes were red. He had been crying. I was shocked. I had never seen him like this. I asked if he was okay. He looked at me and fell to his knees. He grabbed my legs. I told him to get up. I tried to pull away, but he held on tight. When I got closer, I smelled whiskey. He was drunk. Sebastian said I was the only woman who could save him. He said the world was driving him crazy. He said his wife was barren. He could not leave her, but he needed a child. He needed an heir. Then Sebastian said something that shocked me. He said he wanted me to carry his child. He said he would give me anything I asked. I told him this was not a good time to talk. He was drunk. He was not thinking clearly. I needed to go home. I walked toward the door, but he stood up quickly. Sebastian grabbed my hand and locked the office door. My heart was racing. This was wrong. This was harassment. But he was my boss. He controlled my job, my income, my future, he said. This was not about being drunk. This was about his life situation. He explained that his family company needed an heir. If he did not have a child, soon his inheritance would go to his brother's children. Everything he worked for would be lost. He said I was the only woman he could ask. He said he would give me a land money. I would never have to work again in my life. All I had to do was carry his child for 9 months, then give the baby to him. I sat there frozen. I did not know what to say, but the offer was also very compelling. Caleb and I could start our marriage without any money problems. I went home in shock. I could not sleep that night. I kept thinking about Sebastian's offer. The next morning, I told Caleb everything. Caleb was angry, very angry. He said, "We were not even married yet, and I was thinking about carrying someone else's child. It was crazy, disgusting." But I explained the benefits. We would never struggle financially. We could have the wedding of our dreams. Caleb said no. He would not let his future wife carry another man's child. But I kept talking. I kept explaining. Finally, after hours of arguing, Caleb agreed. I went to Sebastian the next Monday. I told him I would do it. Sebastian agreed immediately. He thanked me. He said I was saving his life. We did the clinical procedure. 2 weeks later, soon I was pregnant. Sebastian moved me to a beautiful house. He said I needed to be comfortable. He hired people to take care of me. At the office, people started whispering. They did not understand why I was getting special treatment. They were jealous. Some people gossiped. They said I was carrying the boss's child. They said I was having the boss's child. They said I was having an affair with Sebastian. Sebastian visited me every day. He brought me food, vitamins, books. He asked how I was feeling. He made sure I had everything I needed. Sometimes he would touch my belly gently. He would say I was giving him the greatest gift of his life. But Caleb started to notice every time Sebastian visited. Caleb would get quiet and angry. He would leave the room. He would not talk to me for hours. I told Caleb not to worry. But Caleb was suffering. I could see it in his eyes. 7 months into my pregnancy, Caleb came to me. He said he could not bear to look at me carrying another man's child. He said watching Sebastian take care of me was torture. He said he could not continue our relationship anymore. Caleb walked out the door. He was gone. I felt sharp pain in my stomach immediately. I could not breathe. I called for help. I tried to stand, but collapsed. Sebastian was visiting that moment. He heard me scream. He carried me in his arms. He drove me to the hospital faster than I had ever seen anyone drive. At the hospital, doctors said I was going into premature labor. The baby was coming early. They needed to do surgery. I was terrified, but Sebastian held my hand the entire time. The surgery lasted 5 hours. Sebastian never left. When the baby was born, the doctor held up a tiny boy. Sebastian looked at his son and started crying. He turned to me and hugged me tightly. Then he kissed my forehead. He said, "You gave me the greatest gift anyone had ever given me." Sebastian called his wife, Julia. She came to the hospital within an hour. She looked at the baby with tears in her eyes. She thanked me. She said I saved their marriage. The next week, I recovered in the hospital. Sebastian visited every day. He brought the baby to see me sometimes, and every time he left with the baby, I felt empty. I was alone in that hospital room. Caleb was gone. The baby was gone. My life felt meaningless. After I was discharged, I went back to the house Sebastian provided, but it felt cold now. One rainy evening, I was alone thinking about my lonely life. When my doorbell rang, I opened the door. It was Caleb. He was soaked in rain. His eyes were red from crying. He said he tried to live without me, but life without me felt boring and meaningless. He said he was selfish to leave me. He said he was sorry. Caleb begged me to let him be part of my life again. He said we should keep the past behind us and continue our life together. I looked at Caleb, the man I loved. I cried and hugged him tight.